And we are live. Can you believe it, Kia? We're here. You and me.
Wild.
I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes, okay? Because I know, it's not exactly 11:30 yet. So go get your drinks. I got a little body armor here for me. Make sure you have your notebook prepped and ready. What else should they have, Kia? Do you think of anything?
Probably a pen to write with.
How are you going to write notes on your notebook if you don't have a pen?
True.
This is why she is in charge here, folks. She just got those amazing little quips here. We got 1 minute left, though. Are you feeling a little nervous?
I'm a little nervous, yeah.
This is her first time, guys. So,
This is my first time.
Go easy on her. Don't hit her with any too hard questions, unless you're down for that. I also don't want to assume.
I'm always good for hard questions, but yeah, this is my first live, my live virginity.
I'm taking it.
Yeah.
I don't want to go down that aisle. All right, folks, and welcome to our live stream. If you are tuning in today, I'm glad to have you, first of all, because our topic today is how to start a business, part 2. And we are more importantly talking about how to take your business online. Now, you and I both know, and Kia knows, that starting a business is terrifying and overwhelming and scary and a million other little things. But we are here to talk you through it and to give you the best of the best ways to take your business online. So, Kia, let's kick it off here. What do you think is the big problem that stands between business owners and taking themselves online?
Yeah, so that's pretty easy. I mean, it's visibility, exposure, getting that you don't have the brick and mortar stores, you don't have that foot traffic. So getting people to see your business, see what you're selling, all of that, it's a huge challenge for anyone that's doing the online business style.
Yes, and even just like growing that your followers can be tough. Usually, once you get up there, there's like a little bit of a snowball effect, and then you just keep, I don't know, getting followers.
Yeah.
But if somebody is tuning in with us right now, they realize that, hey, they do have that brick and mortar location, but they're not putting their resources into the online space like they should be. What are the 3 steps that you would give them to get them on the right track?
Yeah, so I'd for sure say making sure you're focusing that website, social media marketing, focusing where it's going to be most valuable to you, and then building a brand around you, making sure you have a recognizable name, and then pretty much finding a niche in your industry that's going to be more in demand and people are going to be looking for.
I love it. Now, the first one that you talked about is that website social media aspect. Now, we all know you need a website, but the thing I think business owners kind of kick off to the side or like decide that they don't want to participate in is social media. Can you tell us a little bit about the website and social media? How does that play a part in this?
Yeah, so there's a few different ways that you can market towards your online business. For me, I don't have a website right now. I ended up starting with social media. I figured I could build that client base, build my brand, build my name through that platform, and then I can go live on a website and have that client base directed straight to my site. Other people may be more successful with, depending on what their industry is, with their service or product is, going straight for a website and making sure that either way you have those call to actions, those followers, making someone understand who you are in that marketing is what's going to be crucially important. Making sure that you give that kind of face-to-face feel. Everyone, when they're going to Target, they know what they are getting. They know what they're expecting. When they go into Walmart, they know what they're getting. When you're working with a small business, you have no idea. You've never heard this person, you've never heard of this name. So making your website really give them kind of a hometown feel for who you are, or working that social media forum where they're getting to know you as a person on like a personal level, and then you're showing all these other things that you're doing for your business on the side.
Okay, I'm writing down a few notes here because you just gave us a whole bunch of things and I want to touch on every single one of them. But first, let's talk about that hometown feel. That is seriously the competitive advantage small businesses have compared to those big brands, like you're saying, the Targets and the Walmarts. You really want to make sure that you are pumping that up so that your customers feel a connection with you, because people don't
Exactly.
buy products or services, they buy that connection that they're getting with you. What do you think?
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think that kind of rolls right into the second thing I was mentioning of building that brand and building that kind of client base. It's crucially important for that factor. You're competing with these corporate known names where everyone knows what they have, knows what to expect, knows the quality that they're going to get. But if we're all being honest, you don't go and find the greatest gift ever for your grandma at Target, unless it's a great T-shirt or like 90 or something. But like if you're getting on Etsy or on these other small craft fairs, small businesses, you're getting a lot more of a handmade touch, and then you know that you're getting a better gift, and that can translate into other services as well. Sure, everyone in Arizona knows the name George Brazil for ACs, but that doesn't mean that George Brazil is getting this great service. They charge more because it's a recognizable name. They know their machines work. But Joe down the street who owns an AC business, he'll put his extra touch on there to make sure everything is done right because he doesn't have that name carrying him. And that brings that memorable factor and will make people spread his name more and make them want to go back to him every single time.
Okay, Kia, I don't know what it is, but you're making me tear up just a little bit. Like it's either that Christmas Eve is tomorrow, but I just see this business owner. I see Joe in my head, and you're absolutely right. He's going to put his heart and soul into whatever is going wrong with your AC because there isn't anything for him to fall back on. He can't afford to put out a lousy product because this is his namesake. But before we get too far in, there is one giveaway that I want to give to our audience today. If you are tuning in, we have a special checklist for you. This is actually our secret sauce. So, like, don't tell Ryan, okay? Or Patrick, or literally anybody else that's above me in status, because we're giving you our secret sauce right now. It is 15 ways to make your website more visible on Google and elsewhere. So, if you are looking to level up your website, you don't know how to increase that visibility, I have the checklist for you, but I'm only going to give it to you if you ask for it. So please, please, please put something down in the comments so that I can connect with you after the show. But let's dive back in here, Kia. Now that I have my little promotion over there, you sound super knowledgeable and you sound like you're an expert, but how do you know all of this?
Yeah, so I started my own kind of business a few months ago. I had a son last year, last September, and he's great, but he kind of demands all of my attention and all of my time. And at the end of the day, I was just kind of in this loop of just hanging out on my couch, like, oh, we survived another day of infancy, like, cool, great. But I wanted to feel more like myself. I feel like I lost that sense of like spontaneity and creativity that I had before having him and having that responsibility. So I kind of decided, once he went to bed, I start working on these craft things. I convinced my husband to buy a $500 like fancy Cricut machine that cuts all these different materials so I could craft things for my son instead of buying them. And then ended up crafting a lot of things for family members, and I was like, I could do this, like I could make a business off this. Okay. And so I kind of went for it, and that kind of grew into now some woodworking, and I'm doing a lot of custom wooden signs and hopefully launching a full market line here by the spring.
I love to hear it. It sounds like you found something that you were passionate about and that the motivation kind of just came along with it. It wasn't something that you had to force or like, oh, okay, well, now we have to do this. Can you talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, so the biggest thing is you have to have passion when you're being a small owner, small business owner, I should say. Going back to what I was saying about Joe, the AC guy. There is no other option for him really. Like, this is what he's doing. This is what he's committed to. He's putting his heart and soul into this. All that passion is then going to be translated into his work. Um, same goes for me. I'm facing all these obstacles. There's a lot of other things that I could do to save my time and to do pretty much anything else and and still make ends meet or whatever. But who wants to do that when they could be doing something they're just passionate about nonstop? And really, that's the only way you'll ever be successful, because it's too hard otherwise.
True. Now, there was a third tip that I want to talk about before we head off here. You talked about finding an in-demand niche. We don't know how to say it, guys. We had a whole discussion on it. So if you want to correct me in the comments below, feel free.
We'll start a poll.
Right, we'll start a poll. But how do you find that in your industry? Or can you talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, so I kind of went through the same thing, making these customizable products or promotional products for businesses. That's pretty widespread. Once you have, the design software, you can then cut these templates and put any kind of labeling, branding, names, anything design on pretty much anything, given that you have the proper tools. And how do you kind of compete with that? If everyone's out here is making um, tumblers as their like COVID side hustle, how do you then make a name for yourself? And it's really just finding what people are lacking or what they're not putting that quality in. And for me, I found that was these wooden signs. And then I was able to target that. And I've been able to gain a ton more traction onto that, because people are like, oh, that's new. I haven't seen that. Oh, that's way like takes way more time and way more care than these other ones that I've seen. And that kind of brings that level of them wanting to share that with their friends. Whoa, have you seen something like this? And you just really need to find that would be in your industry. And then once you make a name for yourself and people know you, they know what kind of stuff you do, they'll come to you for all the small stuff. So you're selling
I
both.
love that. And you are truly a woodworker. I'm going to be dropping her Facebook and her Instagram handles down below so you guys can go check out her work, because it is just fabulous. She made some stockings for me and my entire family, and all of our little stockings had these cute little gnomes on them, but all of the gnomes were Caucasian, which, whatever, that's cool, but I am not Caucasian. So she went ahead and she dyed the skin. And so now we have my cute little family with all of our little gnomes, and everybody is represented. And I just love it. So thank you, Kia, for doing that small little extra touch.
Absolutely. See, that's the thing I'm talking about. That's the passion, that's the drive, that's what makes your name memorable, and you're going to remember that. You tell your friends, and that just makes me stand out more than any other person who can make stockings. There's a ton of us out there.
There are. But she's one of the best. I'm just going to say it. Now, I do want to promote our 15-piece checklist one more time. So if you are struggling to have that visibility, if you're struggling to get the traffic that you want, if you're struggling to reach those sales goals that you have for yourself, you really need to look into your website and making sure that it has all of these things into it so that it can be visible, so that people can find you, so you can continue to grow your business. But Kia, you've given us a whole bunch of stuff today. Can you give us one final recap, please?
Yeah, definitely focus on that marketing, whether you do social media and a website or just the website. Make sure that you're putting that money where you're going to get that return for it. And make sure you're building that brand, making that client remember you, remembering your name, adding that extra little feature that makes them want to tell everyone about you. Once you do that, as long as you find something that's in demand, you find that niche that'll get your traction going, you're going to take off.
I love it. You heard it here first, friends. Alrighty. Well, thank you, Kia, for joining us today and taking time out of your schedule to give us a peek behind the curtain on what's happening on your business.
Absolutely. It's been great. I've had a great time. Thanks for letting me, humble brag over here and help out everyone else.
Yes, I love it. And thank you to our lovely audience for tuning in. I always love talking to you guys. So please drop a comment below if you found anything that we said today helpful, because I want to hear back from you guys. And you can also catch her Instagram and her Facebook handle down in the comment section. I'm just going to do it right now while you guys are on the phone with me. Boom. Oh, I did it. I messed it up. Okay. It's in there though now, guys. But please join me next week as we talk more about some things that you can implement today to change your digital marketing. Alrighty, folks, I will catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.
All right, now we do our little jig. Do a little jig. 8, 8. Oh, it's not